What's up, everybody? It's your boy, Officer D. Back with another live. Let's wait for everybody to join on in. Before everybody start joining in, though, let's get the intro out the way. All right. What's going on, y'all? Got my collars out of place. What's going on with y'all? What's up, Irie, TJ, GBK? Yeah. What's going on? I'm here. It was hard to be here. I took a nap. Thank the Lord you can set like 12 alarms. Thank the Lord, because my ass would still be asleep. It's always hard when I work this specific, like off-duty job, because you go in at 12 at night, you get off at 8, and then I'll come home, and I'm like, I can stay up for a little bit, but try to stay up the rest of the day. It never worked. 1 or 2 o'clock, bruh, I'm going to sleep again, and then I stay asleep all day. All day. What's going on with y'all? What's new with y'all? Let's see. You are currently committing a crime. Please come arrest you. What crime are you committing? What has been my scariest time as an officer? I honestly don't even know. I always say that's a hard question for me to answer because I got like so much stuff happen every day that what happened yesterday I kind of forget about. So the scariest, I don't know. Maybe the scariest when 2 damn dogs tried to attack me. I went to a car one day. See, I don't really have problems with humans. Humans I can handle. You know, humans don't scare me as much unless you just batshit crazy. But humans don't really scare me. It's your goddamn animals that ain't got no control. I went to an alarm call one day, and you're supposed to check around the whole building where this building was fenced off. So I was like, I'm gonna go up to the fence, make sure ain't nobody back there. I'm getting out of here. As I go to the fence, these 2 big ass pit bulls start barking. I'm like, I'm at a fence, they can't do nothing. Bruh. Them motherfuckers started running up to the gate. Came through the gate. My clumsy ass fell. So I shot at the 2 motherfuckers. Missed both of them. They lucky day. They run back in the fence though. I'll be damn. I cannot believe I fell. They would have ate my ass up. You COVID positive. Oh no. I hope I can't get that from the screen. Through the screen. Damn, I just touched on your comment. That's dangerous. I'm kidding. Hope you feel better though. Have you ever thought about joining the mountain? I did a whole freaking YouTube research on the mountain unit. We don't have one, but I think it would be pretty cool. I would do it. What's up, man? I'm 24. 24. How you doing? One of my partners at work is real country dude. He goes to everybody's like, how you doing? So how you doing? Am I still liking it? It's all right. I ain't gotten no better at it. I was driving home this morning, still trying to estimate, bro. I suck. I suck. I suck. I don't even know. I suck. But I don't know. I went to the highway the other day, our last day working. So we worked 4 days on, 4 days off. So right now, I'm on my 4 days off. I suck at it. I don't even know what to tell you. They'll probably take that shit out of my car pretty soon. Like, bro, just give us that back. We'll give it to somebody else. I can't even be mad at them. Where do I eventually want to end up? I don't know. I got a lot of places I want to go. Not really. SRO is the one I kind of really want to do. But I'll go to a lot of places. Community engagement, housing unit. But later on, just start supervisor, supervisor route, just work way up from there. Can I do a video report writing? Yes, I'm still thinking about it, but I think that video will be real boring. I don't know. And everybody writes report differently. Like, you can go to one department and they write in first person, the next department will write in third person. And then they all start off reports differently. I look at some of the reports we got from different officers sometimes just to look at them, but we all start reports differently. And I think it was about 3-4 months ago, I was like, I'm just going to try to start my reports off differently just to see, because everybody else was doing it. And as soon as I submitted it, my lieutenant denied it. I was like, starting back off how you been starting it off. So there's different ways to do it. It's all about how your department kind of culture is with doing it, but I don't know. I'll do one though. You have a polygraph coming up? Aren't too many suggestions I can give other than just be honest. Just be honest. Be honest and calm. Don't go in there freaking out because they'll start saying you're lying. Start showing false negatives. What is SVT? Can you be a police officer with SVT? You gotta, what is that? Funniest encounter as an officer? I think my funniest encounter, I was gonna do a video on this. I think my funniest encounter with DWI. Bruh was drunk at, I think, Burger King. And he's passed out the drive-through lane. I get there, the fire department's already there. They're knocking on his window. And they're like surrounding his car. And then bruh tries to drive off with them surrounding his car. So I run up, get him out the car, and bruh's just smiling and just laughing. I'm like, bro, what is wrong with you? And he's just like, bro, it's just like, he's the chillest drunk I've ever arrested in my life. Like, any question I ask, he's laughing about. I'm like, bro, you really drunk? And he's like, you already know, bro. I'm like, I like you, man. You still gotta go to jail, but I like you. I love that whole account. I was gonna do a video on that. That whole process went by so fast. He cooperated with everything. I was like, when's the last time you drunk? He's like, it's been a while ago. All right, what's a while ago? About 30 minutes. All right, thank you. What is it? I don't know what the chief looks for. That'd be somebody to ask the chief. I'll actually ask the chief and see what he says. I don't know. I would guess he just looks to make sure that every process you had so far in the past was okay. Like, there's several people you have to go through before the chief will look at your application. So if everybody else wrote a good recommendation, I would guess, and it wasn't anything like controversial that he would have to decide on, I guess be all right with it. Have I ever done a car chase? What was my high speed? My high speed was probably not in the car chase. My high speed was probably going. We had an officer calling for officer down our Sigma Zero where everybody's going. Probably hit the highway going don't know, somewhere over 130. And when I realized I got to a curve, I was like, nah, it ain't even that deep. Let me slow down. And then hell, I got to the exit. I was about to get off, and they canceled me anyway. So that was my last time ever going that goddamn fast. To get canceled anyway. Like, I work Southside. This is the north. I would have never made it there. If I made it there, something's wrong. Like, our city has went fucking insane. If I made it from the South Side, like, I work at the most southern point of our city. If I made it all the way to the northern part, something's wrong. What's up, Thug Life? Hey, what's up? Tell the truth. Tell the truth about what? You think about joining the National Guard while you're in college, then after graduate, my contract is over and I apply for a PD. Nah, that's just what a lot of people do. There you go. Local colloque. Yeah. Oh, yeah. If it's a heart condition, I would say that just depends on what your capabilities are and what your department is willing to take on. So you may have to shop around departments, but I don't know. Hey, you damn right it did. You damn right. My lieutenant came out and was just like, he has this bad habit of showing his frustration to rubbing the back of his head. And he showed up, he just like, the same thing with my car wreck. Oh my gosh. He just does this. Yeah, I wonder. Let's see. No, I can't put it on here. And also just send me a picture of my car wreck when she crashed into my car. But it's the funniest fucking picture ever. I'm like sitting on the ground, crisscross applesauce. That was the funniest. And the whole problem with that was they started a group chat for some reason with everybody on the team, all the lieutenants and all the captains, right? I didn't know they were in a group chat. So I started talking real crazy. And then one of the lieutenants responded, was like, I forgot what they said, but I was like, well, damn. And then I blamed it on the chick who crashed into my car, and she sent that picture. And I was immediately done. I had to get the fuck out of there. I was done. All right. Let's bring bruh in. What's up, man?
Going on? What's up?
Not much.
So you already started?
Oh, yeah.
I feel it. Trying to see some of them questions. I kind of was peeking on you for it. Yeah, I can see it coming across a little bit.
All right.
Yeah, see him coming across. What's going on, though?
Not much, man. Just woke up, honestly.
Yeah, I got the midnight shift about to, I'm going to go take a nap in like an hour or two. I go in at 11, so I'm just chilling before work. My daughter come down here because she's super nosy, so if she come down here, she's just going to join it live, I guess.
So, that's cool.
Yeah.
The more the merry. Let's see what Nino said. Nino said, first things first, thanks for keeping the streets safe. What's the funniest call you've ever responded to?
Me or okay, so the funniest call I ever responded to, I think I just did a video on it actually not too long ago. I was still on the FTO program. I was still riding with my field training officer, and we go to a first time ever on the road. Like, this is my first day out. We go out and I'm just walking around this house. We get a call about his wife said he's threatened to kill himself and kill everybody in the family. So we get there and pretty much knock on the door. Nobody's there. Well, he's in the house at the end of the thing, but knock on the door. Nobody's picking up. So we walk around the whole house, and I actually see it because at first I used to work for the sheriff's office. So the sheriff's office, you start in the jail, you go to the courthouse, and then you go to the road. So I dealt with a lot of the people from the streets from working in the jail. So I ran into the guy he was asleep, like high in the car. And then mind you, it's like, man, it had to be close to being negative outside. It was freaking freezing. And he's sleeping in the car high. So I'm like, bro, what are you doing out here? He was like, oh, I clean houses. I clean his house for him. So I'm like, well, where is he at? He's not picking up the door or nothing. walk around. We end up, just putting him in the back of the car until we figured out what was going on. Then I finally we walking around. We cleared his barn. This guy lived off of a barn. And we cleared the barn. There's nothing going on. No animals. That's what I said in the video. There's no animals. I didn't see not one animal in this guy's whole nothing. No animal. So we go inside because the back door is wide open. So, he asked me if I was comfortable with going inside because it's my first day out there or whatnot. And, we didn't have to go in, but we end up going in because his wife gave us permission to go in and stuff like that. And we cleared this whole house. This guy was a war veteran. So he had cowbells on every door. This guy had cowbells on every door. He had every window was like blacked out, but the corner of them was like he had it to where he could see out, but you couldn't see in. And it was like this small little peek hole at the bottom corner of every window in his house. So we like trying not to make too much noise because as soon as we walk in, we see a Remington shotgun box on a table, but the shotgun's not in it. So that's automatically like, well, that's a sketch. So we're walking around and don't see nothing. I don't see but there's poop everywhere. Literally, there's poop everywhere in this house. The house is disgusting. So I don't see no animals though. So I'm like, I know this guy ain't pooping on the ground. He can't be. Well, he could be. So pretty much we get to the last door where this guy could be at. And I'm looking and my sergeant was like, well, what do you want to do? I'm like, what are you asking me what I want to do for you? You're the higher up here. So out of nowhere, like of us talking right at this door, this mini horse literally came up and sniffed my leg. And we checked this whole house for everything. Like it was so weird. Like this mini horse literally came up and sniffed my leg. And I jumped so hard because I don't know, it creeped me out because we cleared this whole house, so I don't know where this mini horse would have been hiding. And either we sucked at clearing houses or I don't know, but I think the mini horse had to have been outside. That's why the guy had the door open for this mini horse to go in and out as it wanted to go. Mm-hmm. And that mug just literally came up and literally just sniffed my leg. And I don't like animals. The only thing I'll mess with is dogs. Like I love dogs, but I don't really care for like these chickens and like these chickens. You be going to some of these bars and these chickens be just flying up to you and all this random stuff. I don't like animals like that. So that was, and my sergeant started cracking up. Yeah, I know. My sergeant was cracking up though, laughing the whole time like it was funny because he live on a barn. So he thinking this is funny, and I don't think it's funny because I don't do animals like that. And it's crazy because like we supposed to be like these, everybody thinking like we fear nothing. You know what I mean? But literally, they know I do not. I'll go inside any building, clear any building, but I hate like wild animals and stuff like that. Man, them things creep me out.
If it ain't my animal, I don't like it.
Right. My funniest call, that animal don't bite. Yeah, right.
Right. My funniest call is actually two of them. So we had these two crazy people that we dealt with all the time in my city, and they both had something pretty wrong with them. And the first one, we just got a call out of nowhere that somebody was shitting on their car. So we all pull up and we see it's him, and bruh's just smiling. And there's green shit going down two cars, like right on the driver's side door. And we're asking what's wrong, like, what the hell are you doing? And he's just like smiling the entire time and just laughing. And you would think everybody whose car was shitted on would be upset, but everybody there is just laughing. My captain shows up, Brett just bust out laughing. And somehow we managed to leave away from that call without doing a damn thing. Like, he went to the hospital, we left the shit in the car, there was no report, no nothing. Amazing. And the next one, these two crazy people finally fucking met up. They both got discharged from the hospital at the same time. Went across the street to the gas station, and we're starting to go in the girls' bathroom to harass the fucking girls in there. And they called us about them, and I pulled up and thought they were friends, but they were not friends. And the one who shit on the car, he's all right. He just, just don't want to leave. The other dude, oh my gosh, bro's like, can you buy me something to eat? I'm like, bro, I'm not buying you no food. You gotta go. Well, just give me $1. Bro, I'm not giving you no dollar. Just go. He sits down. I'm like, I'm really not wanting to arrest because they want to get arrested. They always want to go to jail.
Yeah, because they
So
don't
this
got nowhere to
customer
go.
walks up. This customer walks up and was like, "Hey, I'll buy you 2 hot dogs if you leave." So he's like, "Bet, all right." The dude comes out with the hot dogs, and my partner takes the hot dogs. Was like, "I'm going to give you these hot dogs when you go to the sidewalk." Brad gets on. He gets on his hands and knees and starts barking like a fucking dog.
Never.
And wagging his butt and was like, I'm not even gonna replicate what the hell he was doing, but it was that was the funniest fucking call I've ever won in my life. They both ended up going to jail because they would not leave.
And it's so funny because people don't be understanding, like, a lot of these stories that you tell people, like, people don't really believe it, because sometimes I remember when cops used to tell me they funny stories or tell me stories like that, and you like, man, there's no way that happened. Or like watching like some of these cop shows, and you like, man, these got to be scripted. Like some of these got to be scripted. But literally, I'll be telling people now, like, you cannot make this stuff up. Like, this stuff really be happening. Like where I work at, we got a known drug addict. Like, she's a super popular drug addict, like, around there. So everybody knows who she is. So she always walking around asking people for money, for food, and she'll tell you she'll do this for you if you give her something. And it's just like, people just wouldn't know, because it's just weird. Like, it's just, these people be weird out here now. It's like, it's sad, but at the same time, it'd be funny. You know what I mean?
Mad funny. I actually had to take the one guy, the one that shitted on the cars, on another call. I had to take him to another city because they just kept calling about him that day. I was like, you know what? I was like, you want to go to the city below us? And he was like, hell. He's like, yeah. So I gave him a ride. I dropped him off at a gas station, but before I left, another officer told me that he likes to sing. So I took out my phone, got him on Snapchat, was like, all right, sing us also a song. So he sung a song. I still got it to this day. He sang a song, and I'll be damned, I didn't even make it back to the city. And the police lieutenant for that city was calling in, complaining on me that I just dropped him off and left him at the gas station. And apparently, before I even got back to the city, he went in there asking people for money. So I was like,
that's what they be on though. Like, because I mean, what you supposed to do? Just leave a person? If that's where they live, you know what I mean? If that's where they want to go, and you trying to give them a courtesy ride, and that's where they say they you know, that's what you doing. But then it is be messed up because you are dropping a person, this random person off, you know, just. But that's where they tell you that's where they live or something. So that's where you gotta take them.
Nah, he didn't live there, but he was getting the hell up out that city that day because I wasn't going to my calls with him.
Yeah.
And the funny part is that police department only has, I think that department has 3 officers working at night. So they just ain't want to deal with his ass either. But my lieutenant got on the phone, was like, excuse me, motherfucker, y'all are a city. Y'all don't determine who comes and goes from y'all city.
Right, yeah.
So he's going to stay. I think they probably brung his ass back, but whatever.
Who knows?
Do you see yourself retiring from being an officer, doing the whole, it'll be 30 years, but yes, I do.
You said you do. As for me, you know, I love being a police officer. I really do. I love it. But retiring as a police officer, I don't know. Man, you gotta think that's a long, and any career, like if I have to choose a career to retire on, yes, I will be doing what I do. I tell people there's no better, like, I know cops get bad reps and stuff like that, but there's really no better job than, you know, being a police officer. Like, it got its up days and its down days, but at the end of the day, you're outside, you know, you don't have your supervisor up your butt 24/7. Like, they're not, as long as you're doing your job right, you're pretty much, you know, until you get a call, you're pretty much doing your own thing. And that's what I love about being a police officer. Like, it's not like working in an office or, you know, doing landscape or, you know, cement, like putting down, you know, doing construction work and stuff like that, where you actually have basically the same routine. You never know what you're going to get in law enforcement. So that's what I do love about it. And I would retire if I had to, but I feel like I just don't want to retire, not because of the career, just because I want to do something else to make money. Like, I want to be setting myself in a position to be, and I'm not saying I want to be rich, but I do want to be, you know, I want to be wealthy enough to where I don't have to be, one day have to wake up and go clock in a 9 to 5 type or be working a midnight shift. That's just my goal in life personally. But if I had to choose to retire from a job, yes, it would be law enforcement.
I feel you. This is all I got. So I mean, this is all I ever wanted to do. I plan to retire from here. I mean, you can retire from here if you work your way up the ranks, making pretty good money. You ain't gonna be like super rich, but I mean, depending on how high up you can get, you can make a quick 100,000 thousand.
No, yeah, you can make that. And the thing about it is, you pretty much make your own money. I tell like newer cops too, like that. Like you could work all the side jobs. Just because you start off at 40,000 or 50,000, don't mean or every place, every state is different on what you start off at. But just because that's your starting salary, don't mean that's your cap. Like I made over 20,000 more than when I was at the sheriff's office because it was so much overtime. And if you want the overtime, it's gonna be there. From the side jobs, from everything. So you can make great money. I tell people that all the time that asking me about does cops get paid good?
The problem is it's too much money to make, and I made too much more money last year and this year, or the year before that and last year. And now I'm not looking forward to tax time because the money we make from the side gigs is cash and it's not taxed.
Mm-hmm. No, yeah, that's.
I'm about to go hiding when the IRS comes.
You going hiding?
Hiding.
They gonna find you.
Man, I'm not going to work. Have you ever pulled over a relative or friend? So I chose to work in the city that was not where I'm from. So no, I mean, I played one of them before. She came to the movie theater here, and she was parked in the goddamn handicap spot. And I just happened to see her car. I was like, I know damn well that's not her. So I sat there and waited for her ass to come out of that handicap spot. I mean, come out of the movie theater. Got in her car, cranked it up, and I went full license. I wasn't but 6 parking spots down. But I put out a parking spot, went full license siren, pulled right up to her goddamn driver's side door. Scared the fuck out of her.
Yeah.
But
me
that was
personally, I have because I was working in the county that I'm from when I was at the sheriff's office. So yes, I have pulled over people that I knew. And I know the next question probably be like, well, did you give them a ticket? But no, I mean, obviously you're not gonna give your mother a ticket. They actually during police interviews and stuff like that. If you pulled over your sergeant or if you pulled over your mother, would you give them a ticket? Well, who would give their mother a ticket? Or what do I look like giving my sergeant a ticket? But no, everybody is different. Every situation is different, whether it be somebody you know or you don't know. So, but yeah, I put over a couple of people I knew. But where I'm at now, I don't work for my county, so I work in a whole nother county now. So no, I haven't put over nobody I knew.
Yeah. It all depends on what you do.
Right. Yeah, and that's what every situation is
simple speeding ticket, I'm not giving to my family member. A DWI, different story. You're gonna have to go.
No, oh yeah, that's up there though. That's I'm saying them situations are a lot different.
That's one of those things. Technically it's still discretion with it, but it's not discretion for me.
No, it's too many people that be dying from that type of stuff. So driving under the influences and stuff like that. So I show a lot of remorse to people, but when it comes to stuff like that, no.
Yeah, no. Do you consider a person that handed someone else drugs for someone else? So, do you consider a person that handed someone else drugs for someone else? You handed someone else drugs for someone else.
You consider a person handed those drugs for someone else selling drugs. Is they asking? Do you consider a person that's handling drugs for somebody else, a drug dealer? So say your friend sell drugs.
I guess I don't know.
Is that what you asking? I don't know how that is that's kind of worded funny. But
you gotta clarify. Clarify will answer that.
Yeah.
All right. What's the difference between traffic enforcement unit and regular cops? Well, they are regular cops. It's just a unit inside the department. So that's what they focus on is traffic enforcement.
Yeah. Normally, and those mostly like we don't even have that where I'm at, but we just have the state highway patrol, which mainly just do traffic.
Yeah, we got a traffic unit. I would actually love to be traffic too. However, once people get into that traffic unit spot, they stay there their whole goddamn career. Because our traffic unit is different from like the city beside ours. So the city beside our traffic unit is just traffic. Like they got motorcycles and they just do tickets. But our traffic unit does like the speed enforcement, stuff like that. They also handle all our crash reconstructions, any death from an accident, they'll come out and take. So I guess it's so much classwork and stuff that they just stay there the whole time. So it's hard to get into that unit.
I wouldn't me personally, I wouldn't want to do traffic. Like I love traffic. I love, getting into, because you never know what you're going to get into traffic with traffic, and traffic is some of the most dangerous things. A lot of people don't get that too. Like traffic is dangerous to get into. Like most cops, people say, oh, cops just want to get tickets, but most cops don't want to just be walking up to a random car, especially at night. So, but me, I do like to answer calls. I like to go to calls more than doing traffic.
Yeah, man, I love traffic stops. I don't know what it was, but my first day out of FTO, my passion for traffic stops went through the goddamn roof. I don't know what it was.
Really?
Yeah. Actually, last week, or the week before last week, one of the guys on my team I have beat everybody on my team since I've been on this goddamn team, but he tried to challenge me to do traffic stops. It didn't end well. So he created a whole spreadsheet that he's going to try to keep up with the whole year. And they just can't beat me. I don't know what's wrong with me and why I keep winning. But I'm a traffic stop. I will be on one traffic stop, and they'll think I'm still on it, and I'm calling out another one.
Right. But but a lot of people, it's so easy to get people to, like, it's 1,000,001 reasons why a cop can pull you over, and that's what people don't understand. Like, but I used to get pulled over a lot, so I really don't do too many traffic stops. But when I was at the sheriff's office, it's a lot different because now where I'm at, it's a little bit slower. Yeah. So I have more time to do that if I choose to. So I do more traffic stops now than I did when I was at the sheriff's office. So I do get a lot more, but I just, it's a lot, the paperwork easier for them.
Yeah, I love them. I try to be petty when I do them. Like, I'm not going to pull you over for having a license plate covered. I'm not going to pull you over for having a tag light out. I'm not going to pull you over for going over the white line, like at a stop sign. There's some officers that will. They can do that if they want, but I'm not that petty.
No, I ain't petty. I hate, though. My big pet peeve, though, is running a stop sign. Oh, my goodness. I hate running people that, man. Because where I work, we got a 4-way intersection, but it's a 3-way stop sign. So if you don't stop if you're not stopping in the one street coming from the south, they don't have a stop sign. So you know how bad that can be if you're not stopping. If all the other people don't stop, especially at nighttime. So I will camp out there sometimes in that one spot and black out, and just to let people know that I'm sitting there. And it's always funny because they basically is about to just run it, but they'll hurry up and hit their brakes because they'll just look and barely see me. So they'll always stop. But I don't pull them over unless they really straight up blow it. Like if you don't even look, at least if you come to a rolling stop, or if you look at least know that you're looking this way. But if you just keep going, I mean, you just didn't look. Like, because if you're looking, you at least can still see me. I know I'm black out, but you can still see me.
Yeah. I'm also pretty good. Like, I'm not too much a believer in warnings. Like, I don't know. Some officers will give warnings for stuff. If I pull you over, you're probably getting a ticket, just because most tickets are fixable tickets. And in my state, they allow you to go online and get it dismissed. You don't got to pay nothing. So I tell people that. But it's like I put this guy over one time. He was at this gas station we having problems with drugs and shit. So I pulled him over and I wrote his ass for not updating his driver's license address, which I hardly ever do. But I'll say about a week later, my beat partner pulled him over, and when she got up to the car, he was like, "Oh, I already know. Like, I haven't changed my address yet." And she was like, "What? Like, we don't pull people over for that here. We wouldn't write you a ticket for that." And he's like, And she gets back to the car, sees that I wrote him a goddamn ticket for it last week, and called me and just busted out laughing. It's like,
Yeah.
I know if anybody had to do this, it would be you.
Yeah.
Update your shit, man. I know D don't do animals after the. Oh yeah, no, absolutely not. Never been one to do one. Let's see.
Animals just too unpredictable, man.
They are.
I got
And
bit
people
by.
love just letting them come up to you like you cool.
And I got a bad thing because I'll pet them. Like I got bit by a little like a Yorkie. I got bit by a Yorkie like 2 weeks ago. I kid you not. I went to go pet it. It was a hit and run incident. And I went there. The car was parked on the street outside his house, and I went to go respond to the car or whatever. And I'm just talking to him. And the little daughter had the dog on a leash, so the dog went up and it's jumping on my leg like it want me to pet it. So I went to pet it, and the thing bit me. The dad like, I'm so sorry, but I'm just like, I got a dog. It's cool. He probably trying to protect the daughter, but I'm just like, man, these little, and I don't do little dogs, man. Little dogs is.
Now, I don't think I've ever petted anybody's animal since I've been here. Now, my worst thing is cats.
No, yeah,
they freak me out.
We the same then. I hate cats.
Yeah, and immediately, I remember in FTL. This is the funny shit. FTL, we got to this apartment. This lady called about, I don't know what it was, but she had a sign on the door that said, "Beware, I have a lot of cats." So she comes to the door, opens it up. She's like, "Oh, hey, y'all can come in." No, ma'am. Bring your ass out the door. Leave all them cats in there. And my FTO tried to be funny and was like, "Nah, we're going to come in." Dude, it was so many cats, I could not concentrate.
She was a cat hoarder, man.
I hate seeing cats.
Yeah, they got cat heaven at the trailer park where I live at. They call it cat heaven. It's like a bandit warehouse, like not a warehouse, an abandoned like a, what is it called? A little storage area in the back of somebody's yard, but the house is abandoned. So they like made it cat. They call it cat heaven. If you go open it, man, there's so many cats in there.
No,
it's ridiculous.
You can have that. How long was you trained to become an officer? So our academy was 4 months. We had a month of PD training, and then we had 4 months of FTO training. So 9 months.
Was that full time for you?
Huh?
Was that full time?
Yeah.
Full time. Yeah, ours was six or 7 months, around 6 going on 7 months. That was full time, and then mind you, I'm in Ohio, so 6 or 7 months, and then he was part time because each department, got their own. Some people got part time because they, if you put yourself through the academy, you can register for part time because you still got, the work and your kids and stuff like that. But me, I did go through full time, so I was from 9 to, I think it was like 9 to 7 or something like that. It was like ridiculous, but it was for 6 going on 7 months. I just remember it being done. I was so happy.
Like, oh yeah, man. No, ours were 4 months.
But I didn't pay for it. 8 to 5. It was, when you don't pay for it, it's better. If you're getting paid for it. But it's when you put yourself through it is when it's like, But I guess it is a little bit more rewarding too for you because you spent that money and you accomplished it.
I told everybody, if you can get hired somewhere before you go to the academy, get paid for going there.
You got
if
to.
It don't work out, at least you was getting paid for going.
And I tell people because a lot of people, man, I did on my police academy video not too long ago. Make sure that you can pass that PT test and that state exam because it sucked. I had 2 people drop out of my not drop out, but fail on a PT test. One failed on a PT test, and 2 of them failed on a written exam. But you get 2 chances. I don't know how y'all do it there, but you do. If you fail one, then you get to go retake it. like a month later or something like that. And the one person passed the state one and the other one failed the written exam. So I mean, I just tell people just make sure you're ready, because once you get there, you don't want to. If you do pay for it, you don't want to go through that whole process. Pay what, I don't know. Here it's like 6,000, I think 5,000 or something to go through a full academy. So around there, I could be right, I could be wrong, but it's around there. It's not cheap, let's say that. And to go through the whole academy and then get, fail by like 10, they'll fail you for 10 seconds on a mile and a half run, or they'll fail you for missing 2 push-ups. So I just say, man, you gotta make sure you're ready for that fitness and all of that, and make sure you're studying.
We had one guy that was in my academy. This was his 3rd time there. His first time, he failed the test. So you can fail 2 sections your first time, and you can retake them. If you fail 3 sections, it's a fatal failure. You can't retake it. He failed the 2 sections, did a retake, and still failed 1. So he came back. Then we started doing PT. This wasn't even the PT test. This is just PT, like after classes, you do PT. Apparently they were doing push-ups, and they were watching his dumb ass, and they said, how many did you do? And he lied and said he did more than he did.
Oh, so my. And they probably never let him come back.
Well, he came back from my class, and Brett made it like halfway through and then just didn't show up no more. So he's still trying to hit us up on Snapchat all the time, though. Like, what she say? Block, delete.
Yeah.
How does it feel to turn on? How does it feel to turn on the hood? I guess I don't know what that means.
How does it feel to turn on the hood? Basically, I think that question is saying, because we both obviously probably can tell we both from the hood. I'm from the hood, obviously. So I think what they mean is like, sometimes that in you have to come out sometimes, like, and you try to be professional, but sometimes you got that person that just that's not accepting a professional side of you. So I don't know if that's what he mean, like, because I have had to bring some of that hoodness out sometimes, and when I really have to show him, like, listen, this uniform, like, when they say, oh, you ain't nothing without that badge, you know what I mean? And then I have to let you know, like, this badge came on late in life. Like, this ain't what it always was for me. I'm where you from. I just changed my life around. So sometimes you do be having to bring that side out. I don't know if that's what he's talking about, or if that's what
I don't know if that was a dig or if that's what you were talking about. I don't know.
But I do know that in that way of asking it, I do know I have had, to bring that side out sometimes on some people. That.
If that was your question, yeah, and going back to your old ways,
But don't lie, though. Sometimes you get to feeling a little good when you have to, let them know, like, hey, I can get serious too, like, for real, like, because I never had to really turn that side out with being on dealing with a white person. It's always been like, if I went to a call with a black person, or when I was working inside the jail at the sheriff's office, then it's a bunch of black people in there that I knew, like, sometimes people that I actually grew up with, or people that's older than me. So sometimes you do got to show that dominance and show, like, dude, y'all know where I'm from, and y'all know that how I get down for real. So don't try to play me because you're in jail and say like this. I know if that's what he's talking about, I do know what that feeling like. And sometimes you just got to go there. But being a cop, you got to have many different hats that you wear. I tell people all the time.
The whole race thing, that's definitely a whole nother talk. I went to a call the other day where apparently this dude beat up his girlfriend. We get there and the girlfriend's gone, but like everybody's outside this hotel room, and they're like he punched the fuck out of his girl, like knocked her out. So we go into the room. I go and handcuff him, run him. He has warrants. We can't find her, so we can't charge him with assault yet, but he has warrants. So I tell him he has a warrant, and there's like 4 other officers in the room. And he's like, all right, let me get my stuff. And he stands up. I'm like, all right, just sit back down. We get it for you. So he's like, all right, get that, get this. And then he stands up again. I'm like, bruh, sit down. We'll get it for you. He gets up again, tries to walk up on the officers. I said, bruh, sit down. Don't get your ass back up. We're going to get it for you. He's like, bro, what you talking about? You being a coconut.
I'm being a coconut.
I'm like, what? He's like, yo, coconut ash. And then he starts going off. I was like, so I need to hear, bro. Let's go. Bring your ass on. You just going straight to jail. Forget all your stuff. And he messes up because it's a hotel. So you know what they're about to do? Throw all that shit away.
That's funny. I ain't never heard that. You being a coconut.
Being a coconut. I ain't never heard it either. But I've been calling so much shit on this job that I just like.
Yeah, they be coming up with some crazy names for you
Crazy.
too, like some
A
real crazy
chameleon.
names.
One dude
like
called me a
what?
chameleon.
Like what? I'll be like, what? Where did you even think of that? But I'm gonna have to use that as a joke though when I hit somebody else with something. These people do be coming up with some crazy nicknames, and that's probably some of them be so high they don't even think they be meaning. They be dead serious too.
Bros, that we got to the jail. Tried to spit on me.
No man, that's the worst.
Oh yeah,
That's the
bro
worst.
went ballistic at the jail.
That's the worst. When somebody try to spit on you.
Yeah,
Oh man.
That's not something you want to do.
Yeah, that'll bring that question out in a heartbeat.
In the heartbeat. Listen, sometimes I forget, and this is I think I said this in a live or a video.
My boy Lieutenant
Sometimes I
Paul
forget
on
I'm
here.
the police.
My dude right there.
I forget I'm the police sometimes. No lie. That's like one time I was directing traffic. A car is like at the stoplight. I'm telling it to go to the left. I forgot what it did, but it blew at me and gave me the finger. And this is a busy ass intersection. Like gave him the middle finger. Bro, when I tell you I gave him the middle finger back for like a good 10 seconds, I forgot I was the damn police. Like I just had to walk out the intersection because I was like, somebody's about to complain on me. But I swear to God, I forgot I was the police in that moment.
He said I had to give him the finger back.
Yeah, like I was ready for the ready. Do we have public safety officers? Yes, we do.
Here we do not. I mean, no. Not only no. I mean, no, we don't. Not where I'm at right now. And then even at the sheriff's office, I don't think we got a assigned public safety officer. So we just, school resource officers and, just like that type of thing. Yeah, a community police. We had community. I mean, that's pretty much the same thing, kind of. We had community officers.
That one's for you.
Altogether, I have been in law enforcement for. Let me think. I was at the sheriff's office for a little over 2 years, and then where I'm at now, it's been about 4 months. So I'm still fairly new, still learning, all of that type of stuff. I ain't been out here too long, and I don't know everything, and probably will never ever know everything. But I'm still learning, still growing, trying to be a better officer.
Oh yeah.
How long you been an officer though? What?
Going on 4 years now.
4 years.
Yeah. Coming from a black kid wanting to join the force, I like seeing how we go, black brothers, on the force. Because I got a feeling the more of us do it, the more we can take down the racist ass cops. To that, I would say, get into the job because you like doing the job. Don't go in expecting that you about to find some racist ass cops because I don't work with any racist ass cops. And I wouldn't work with any racist ass cops. That's just me. If I felt they were, I wouldn't work with them. I turn them in. But honestly, most cops aren't like that. Yeah, you'll find some that still do some shit they ain't supposed to do. But that's not who I work with.
And that is like the biggest, the biggest thing that a lot of people do think is a lot of cops are racist. And don't get me wrong, because I'm not going to defend. Like I tell people, I defend the people that's right. So I'm not going to defend a racist cop. And I personally have worked with racist cops that I know was racist and acted racist towards me. But you can only. But it's not just. That's a hard, like a touchy subject too, because it is racist cops out there. Whether, like you said, your department. I'm not saying every department has racist cops. Some departments do, some departments don't. But where I'm at now, no, we don't. At least I don't think they are. But when I was at the county and working for the county, I do feel like it was racist cops there. So it just all depends on where you at, and I know it do depend on how many people you do work with. But just because you see a cop and he's white, or he might look country, or he might drive a truck, and people's like, oh, he's a, don't, you can't judge cops off of that, because I do know a bunch of cops that will give their shirt off of their back for you. That's white, black, it don't matter. They don't care. They don't care about color. A lot of people think that cops get into it for empowerment and all of this other stuff, and some of them do get into it because they were bullied and stuff like that, or but for the most part, a lot of cops don't really are genuinely caring and want to do the job for the right reason. And I do think like a lot of us black people, judge cops the wrong way, because that's how I was. When me being brought up, I was taught to not. I didn't care for cops. I didn't. I really didn't. It took one cop, one black cop, and a lot of people. He was actually on the show Given Back by Mike Rowe. I don't know if y'all know Mike Rowe from Dirty Jobs. I actually was on his show on Returning the Favor, because this cop is like where I'm from. He's like a super. His name Lamar Sharp. He's like one of those super cops. Like he'll get like it doesn't matter. He's a community police officer now, but he didn't always start that way. And he talked to me one day, and I didn't know he was a cop. So that's what the thing was. I talked to him not knowing he was a cop. So not knowing he was a cop, it kind of changed how I thought about it. But then I seen him like a week later. Literally never seen him before in my life, when I'm just talking to this guy like I know him. And I seen him a week later. The guy was in a freaking police uniform, and I'm like, what? And he was like, oh yeah, you didn't know I was a cop. And I was like, no. And ever since then, we always kicked it off. He ended up being my football coach at my high school. And after that, just goes to tell you cannot judge people off of their uniform. Like, I know that, we're going through a lot with the, Black lives and, all that. But you just can't judge all police officers off of a couple incidents that you see on the news, because nobody ever put the good things that the white police officers do. And nobody put, even black officers, they don't put the good stuff we do. But if we mess up, I guarantee it'd be all everywhere. It's just that simple. That's how the media plays us.
Man, I had one bad experience with the police my entire life. Just one. And that was from a black cop.
Really?
Never had one from a white cop, or it was a black cop. But, I mean, just because you can't blame every bad situation you have to say that the person's right. I get called racist for some of the shit that I do when I just arrested you for beating your goddamn girlfriend up. That was it.
So it's funny when you get called racist, like when I have been called racist too, like saying, oh, you only pick with the white people. Like, what? My fiance is white. My daughter, like, what? Like, it just be funny because people do think that you're racist. Like, I don't know if you're talking about like they said you was racist towards black people, but a lot of white people go out and say that I'm racist towards white people. I had a guy said I treat the black people better than I did the white people when I was working at the county, working inside the jail. And he said he was joking, but to me, I still took it kind of serious, because I'm like, man, if I'm doing that, if you feel that way, check me on it. Like, really say, and really tell me that, because that's a problem if I am, but I never thought I was. So, but he said he was joking, but I take that serious, because I'm like, I don't think I am. I got family members that's white, so I don't.
I 100% can say that everybody I come in contact with is treated the exact same.
Right.
You come cool with me, I come cool with you. You an asshole, I can be an asshole back.
And it's just that simple.
Let's see. Instead of walking up to the cars for traffic stops, can you tell them to get out the car on the speaker intercom thing? You can. I actually seen that on the TV show called The Rookies. They would do that in there all the time. But I personally don't like, if you get them out the car, you kind of lose that ability to go up to the car to see if something's inside the car, So I'd rather have you stay inside the car.
I would do. Only reason I would do something like that is if it's a felony traffic, like if it's a felon that or if it's like a high, car pursuit, and you don't want to just, walk up to that car right away, and then you probably with a group of other officers would, give him commands to get out the car and, get on the ground and stuff like that. But no, I would never just say personally, just like come up to my car. I don't even like people walking up to my car when I'm sitting in there and they just try to wave me down and come say hi. Like I'd rather be out the car. It's just I don't know. You can't do much. Like even like sitting there with your hand with your firearm. There's somebody gonna do something to you. The best advantage they got is while you're in the car. So personally, I would not have nobody ever, just walking up to your
Yeah,
car.
me either. If you were involved in a transaction in which the drugs were not yours, do you consider that person selling drugs? I don't know if I consider you selling drugs. I'll consider you in possession of drugs,
Drugs, yeah, you're in possession.
but not selling. Did you know how to shoot before you became a cop, or y'all learned after training? I learned in the academy. I never shot a gun before for the academy.
Me personally, I never shot. Well, I did shoot a real gun, but I was obsessed with BB guns growing up and paintball. So I already kind of knew how to shoot. My grandpa took me to the gun. My first time going to the gun range. It was out, not a gun range, but it was outside on some land. I shot my first handgun, probably a little bit younger, around like 13, and then I shot, shotguns and stuff like that. But I I wasn't like a professional marksman. I really learned how to shoot in the police academy when you learn how to really use your iron sights and stuff like that.
Yeah. Do you think the military helps when becoming a police officer? Honestly, no. I mean, maybe for fitness or something like that, or maybe for like tactical advantage, yes. But that sometimes is a problem with military people who come over to policing is they bring that tactical shit over to policing and don't know how to turn that shit off.
Yeah.
Like, we are not over there. You need to learn how to come over and transition to talking to regular folks. Not everything is some tactical situation. So a lot of times that's their biggest problem is still treating shit like they're over.
Yeah, and they talk. It's more so it does work, but it doesn't work. It just depends on how you use it. You got to know how to talk to people in this career. Like you really do. Like being overseas and stuff like that, being in the military, you can say certain things and do certain things because you have a mission. Half the time you're on a mission. Here, I mean, you're necessary. You're not really on a mission. You're there to investigate something that's going on. And if you're just going in a situation wanting to, stop the threat right a day, like there's sometimes you gotta know how to talk to people. And that's what I tell a lot of people. The main thing about being a cop is learning how to communicate with people, not other, along with other officers and the community. Because there's nothing worse than I know you probably got. I don't know if you have them personally. You say you got a good hand of people at your department, but it's nothing worse than that cop that you don't want to come to your call because they make the situation worse. You know what I mean? By their just their presence. They just make the situation a lot worse than it got to be. Or they come and they escalate it instead of de-escalating it. So you don't want to be that cop. And I think a lot of the military cops that get into it are some of them, because the ones that I can personally say that was in the military, and that's honest to God truth. So they don't know how to turn it off and they don't know how to talk.
We had one guy come back from the military about a month ago, and this person was gone for a whole year. He comes back. Our shift starts at 8:00. He gets a call at 8:05. He's in a fight at 8:10.
At 8:10. So by the time he got there, by the time he got there, as soon as he got there, it was fight time. Pretty much. Like,
and I don't know what happened. I can't say that he caused it or not, but I know from working that people that come from the military, man, they just don't know how to turn that shit off. This is not. Yeah. We're not in the military. You can't treat people like you are still in the military.
I do know some good military cops though, so that's not me. If there is any military people on there right now, I know I can name 3 good military cops right now that was in the military that are super great cops. Like, I mean, great cops can talk, but not. It's just that's not us saying that, because I know how a lot of people like to portray things like that on social media, like saying, "Oh, military cops, military shouldn't be police officers." Like, it's not saying that at all. So don't get, because I do know some good military cops.
My last lieutenant still is in the military, and I tell you that is like great talker. Knows when to be tactical with shit, and when it's time, he knows how to start setting people in places like to do shit. Like
Right.
all around great. Some of y'all remember Officer C that I bring on here sometimes. Officer C started my first time ever meeting him. I think it was for the interviews we did in the hiring phase. Him and this other guy, that's all they talked about the entire time was the goddamn military. And that's all I heard from Officer C for a whole goddamn year. It finally started, calming down, and now you hardly ever hear it. But there still could be some great officers in the military. It's just sometimes they just gotta give it that curve of, I'm back home now. Let that shit go. Thank you, Sinful Black. Good luck on that polygraph, man. Some of that drug stuff can be. Just don't lie about it. I had somebody else in my academy class who was a cop in North Carolina at first. He did some. I don't know what I'll take it back. He went to the academy in North Carolina, could not get a job, went to Tennessee, I think, got a job, but then got fired because of several different reasons. But he claimed that his girlfriend's sister put some drugs in his drink. And somebody got caught with that. And then he went lights and siren. No, was it lights and siren to a call without a seatbelt on? Crashed, and then tried to say that in North Carolina they teach you not to wear seatbelts when driving. Some total bullshit. But yeah, don't lie about it. He didn't get hired. He came to the academy again after he got fired from Tennessee, and nobody would take him.
Yeah, that's a big one. Just don't lie about it. I mean, being up front here, I mean, I don't know what kind of drugs you talking about, but like normally things like just like marijuana and stuff, mostly a lot of people and most cops honestly probably done it in high school days or here. Our rule is, as long as you ain't did it within the past 3 years, you know what I mean? Like, and you can't lie on your polygraph. A lot of people, can say they can beat a polygraph. I mean, my polygraph was pretty accurate, so can't really lie on it. You just go tell the truth, because if they find out you're lying, that's the biggest thing about them. If you lie, because you gotta think your word right now as law enforcement, you have the power to put somebody in jail for a long time. So if you're lying about something as simple as if you smoked or had drugs or sold drugs as when 5 years ago, that really don't even represent who you are now, because that's just so old. A lot of things change, and people become sober. Drug addicts that was doing drugs for a lifetime become sober within a year. So a lot of things can change over time, and you want to better your life. And and these departments now understand that. But you can't go in there and say, "Oh, I smoked weed yesterday." You know what I mean? Like that's when they're like, they're gonna look at you like you're stupid. Like, okay, bye. But just be upfront, straight up. That's the best advice I can give you.
All right, that was for you as well. This shit right here is the truth, though.
More compared to PD. Is that true? P.S. What's your snap? I don't have a snap, but however, no, I don't know where you're at, where you're at with it, but where I was at, you couldn't. I mean, we couldn't That's why I said we didn't have time for traffic stops. Like we couldn't. There was no time to sit around and do a traffic stop. Once you got in, especially if you're on the county, because we had different areas in Stark County that answer calls just for like a certain township, or so where I was at, we had county, and if you're on that county, I mean, you're going from call to call to call in different areas of that county. So only time that is probably quiet is wintertime. And I mean, that's me saying like quiet is like maybe getting like 3 calls a night. Where I was at, sheriffs was pretty busy, just because we normally carry like the Canton City area, and Canton PD is super busy. So we had to help them with their calls because they were so busy. So being a sheriff was, we did have a lot more. I had way more calls when I was a sheriff than I do now. Way more. But I also don't work for the biggest department. So
I'll say this too. I think my city I don't know what the hell it is. I went to the beach, I think about 2 years ago, and I noticed there, same state, but the city cops, the sheriffs, and the troopers like work closely together all the time, like throughout the year. We're in the same state. We never see the goddamn troopers.
Really?
And our county deputies are just not, we just don't work together for some reason. And it could be just like from a long time ago. I think my city just always wanted to be independent for some shit. I don't know the reason why, but that could be what it is. I don't know.
Yeah,
I always
we had
went
our
and
fair amount
purposely
of calls.
started. You said what?
I said we had here. I mean, I wouldn't say that about us here. I mean, our county, like the Stark County Sheriff's Office, they did. I mean, when they're pretty busy out here. I wouldn't even say they won't. They're not because they are. That's just
I
here.
almost went and started a fight on purpose because the sheriff's office went. This was like 2 weeks ago. They went and started pulled up on a domestic call in the city, and then got the nerve to call for one of us to come over to take the report. So they actually sent somebody else, and he gets on the radio. He's like, "Why are they requesting us?" And they're like, well, it's in the dispatcher said, well, it's in the city. And he's like, well, yeah, isn't it in the county too?
Right.
And they're like, well, they're just requesting you. So I click on the call too. And I'm like rushing to beat his ass over there because I was about to start some shit with them. And luckily, right before I pulled up, they canceled us. And I saw everybody walking away. So I didn't even pull in and talk to them or nothing. There was like 5 of them motherfuckers over there. But that's what happens all the time. If they get drugs or something inside the city, they're cool with it. They'll take it. All right? But if it's some type of paperwork they don't want, they're calling us. And for some reason, we're obligated to take it. Not cool with that.
Yeah, no, that ain't cool at all. I ain't even gonna lie. That ain't cool.
But
like, I don't have
you
like
clearly got jurisdiction here. You just don't want to use it.
That dude, whoever asked me if I have a Snap, no, I don't have a Snap on my Instagram, though. I do have an Instagram. So it's it's like JAY, and it'll be underscore, it'll be TH3, and then underscore truth. So J underscore the underscore truth. So that's my don't laugh at the name. They've been like that
what
since
was
I
it?
was in high school.
what?
JAY underscore TH3 underscore truth. And it's just been like that since I was in high school. Yep, that's right. I just never changed it. So that's what everybody called me. I swear, people that see me, they used to call me Jay the Truth. It used to be so weird. I was gonna change it, but I'm like, man, it'll be weird to change my name after all these years. So
I just like never. Well, no, I did have. I think I told the story already. I did have an Instagram. I never really used it, but I have one. And the day I got hired, the recruiter came into the room. I was in there with me and another officer, and the current class that just finished they're about to take the state test for the academy. And she comes to the room and she's like, you think it's fucking funny to make fun of fat officers on your fucking Instagram? At the time, like I had an Instagram, there's nothing on it. Like I didn't post anything on it. And she's like, you think it's fucking funny to make fun of fat officers on your Instagram? She's like, you want to be a fucking cop? And she's like going in on me. And I'm thinking I'm being pranked. So I'm sitting there like smiling, but then I'm realizing that she's serious. And then she walks out, she's like, fucking fix that shit right now. So I'm sitting there like, bro, I don't even have an Instagram. Like, I don't know what you're talking about. And then she comes back in like 3 minutes later. She's like, actually, that wasn't for you. That was for you. And points to the other officer. And it just walks out. It's like, well, damn. Like, where's my...
Well, you just got somebody else's...
exactly. And she didn't even redo it. She just apologize.
He took somebody else's yelling for them. That's funny as hell.
Yeah, crazy.
I'll
never live that down. I thought I thought that was the start of like how I saw on TV how the academies be where they come in yelling and shit. I thought that's what it was. So I was about to just go along with it, but nah, she was that ass.
But no, for real though, on a serious topic though, don't be that cop. Ain't none, ain't I know that cop was probably mad about that, but don't be that cop. Don't be out of shape. Don't be that cop. It don't look good. I'm not. I know some good cops that is overweight, but I mean you can hear it. I mean they breathe funny, they walk. I mean it just don't be that. Oh man, just don't put yourself in that position. Take care of your body. Just you got to take care of your body. Don't be that cop. That's all I'm gonna say about that.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't even about officers either. He was in the military, and he said, "I can't see how active people enlisted allow themselves to get out of shape or something like that." But the thing about it is that my department, there's so many like older people in my department, and people just like stuck in their ways. That my department, it's like one big ass middle school where they
Right.
gossip about any damn
Everything.
thing.
I mean, that's like every department though. That's like literally every
Yeah,
department.
it's
I'm
bad.
trying to check my thing off. Okay. I didn't make sure. Look at the. Make sure I wasn't
Um,
gonna die on you.
it's pretty bad. But yeah, we'll take a few more and then we'll get off of here.
I do got a question for you that some of my subscribers asked me though. Before we go to the
What's
next
that?
one, he asked me. I don't know how to exactly word this, and I don't even know if he owns here or not. But I did tell him that I would be on live, and I am gonna make a video about it. He pretty much asked me like, how do you feel about answering a call or dealing with a person that basically a crime that you don't agree with, like a charge you don't agree with, or I don't know if he meant like, and that's what I wanted to ask. I don't know if he mean like in the sense of saying you don't think that he should be charged with it personally, or if you mean like something like say marijuana. Let's use marijuana as an example, because it's like one of those drugs that's popular and it's known, it's like used in a lot of areas legally, but in certain areas it's not legal. Where I'm at, marijuana is not legal. But is it the worst thing you could be doing? No. So how do you feel about going to cause about, or dealing with that type of situation? And that was probably one of the realest questions I ever had, because it does kind of change your outlook, but you still, I pretty much was going to say about it like, I mean, we still have a job, whether he was like, that's the only, his thing was, he was like, man, that's the only thing about dealing, me becoming a cop, dealing with certain things that I don't agree with. Well, and I told him, I said, well, if you want to do this job, there's going to be a lot of things you don't agree with, personally. And it's going to be a lot of times you might say, oh, it's just marijuana. Oh, maybe I used to smoke, or, but at the end of the time, I don't know if that's what a lot of people, the questions they ask me is referring to marijuana. So that's why I always use that as an example, because these people are always asking like, is marijuana this or that? Marijuana is worse than drinking alcohol. I mean, isn't worse than drinking alcohol, this and that. So I kind of feel like he had asked me a marijuana question before. So I kind of feel like that is what he was referring to. So I don't know. I pretty much look at it like it's a legal amount that you could be, just a ticket. You can just get a ticket for, and you can just get the rest thrown out, stepped on, or, just get it taken and get it taken to, your department, however you deal with that situation. But I don't know if he's talking about a bigger incident, but like a bigger, something like, I don't know what he could have been talking about, but I do, just from that type of question. What do you think about dealing with situations you don't necessarily agree with, or a crime you don't necessarily agree with in the moment?
Well, that happens all the time,
Right.
and it's more frequent than anything because even on domestics, cops have a tendency to believe females more than
Females
males,
more than males, yeah.
and
24/7.
I hate that shit with a passion. But we have a policy in my department where uh, whoever has the bruises, or actually, if there's somebody who has bruises, the other person has to go to jail.
Right.
And it can be a situation where I personally believe that, hell, maybe they hit you first or whatever. But because of that policy, you got to be the one going to jail. I don't always agree with that.
And in
But
that situation though, I do try, because I have had that situation happen too. I try my best, and I try my best to get the female to at least admit to hitting him first, so that way if I have to take him to jail, I'm going to be taking you to jail too.
yeah,
That's the best way, That's what I try to do. But for female, is not gonna tell, and they, he not gonna say, because some guys do, tend to, don't want to see their girl in jail. even though they're about to go to jail. So that, then they say that she didn't do nothing too. But yeah, that was a good question that I got asked. So I was like, it made me actually think for like really.
That happens all the time, and it's just part of the job. You're not gonna agree with every law out there. You don't know every law out there, so there's some shit that, I mean, you just don't agree with everything, and some stuff you don't agree with. One of my friends is real bad at that, where he's like, I'll pull people over for stuff that he's like, oh, I don't care about that type of stuff. Where if you don't care about it, that's you. Like, his thing is that he said he likes to do drugs so much that some traffic stuff he may not agree with stopping for, but that's you. If you ask me, traffic is just as big as drugs. I mean, we had so many fucking fatal accidents this year. There needs to be more traffic enforcement. Right. Not everybody can focus on drugs. All right? Them motherfuckers gonna keep doing drugs. When you arrest them today, they can get out, they're gonna do drugs again. Mm-hmm. All right? But traffic enforcement is just as important as other functions of the police department.
Right.
So what's important to some people,
I just dropped my camera.
Ain't the same as others. Let's see. It's too quick. Streamlight. I don't know what it is. Like what model it is.
I am one of the when it comes to like policing, everybody think cops are like these tactical guys and like love to have tac gear. That is not me. I swear I have one AR, one Glock, and I do got like a nice flashlight and stuff like that. But I couldn't sit up and tell you all the names of these things that I got.
I can't either. I like having like tech shit, but not necessarily like tech. Like we got an AR school coming up. I don't want an AR.
Really?
I don't want an AR. I got my shotgun in the trunk. I barely like taking that shit out. There's officers who feel they are way more tactical than me. I feel they're way more tactical than me. You can take your rifle position. I'll take my pistol position.
It just depends. That just depends to me the situation. If I'm clearing a house, best believe I want a shotgun. If I'm clearing a school for a school shooting, best believe I want a rifle.
Yeah.
It just it all depends on that situation.
Nah, I think I got some laziness involved in the situation too. We gotta bring all that shit, or we gotta take home cars. All that shit has to come out my car.
Do you got take home car?
Yeah.
You do? Oh, see, we don't where I'm at. The county, when I was at the sheriff's office, you could if you lived in the county. If you lived in that county, but.
Well, we got a 15-mile radius from the city lines, so you can stay in different counties. I stay in a different county, but I'm 15 miles. I'm within the 15 miles. Like I'm actually right at 15 miles. What kind of
cruiser you got?
Huh?
What kind of cruiser do you got?
I got a 2013 Dodge Charger.
Okay. All right. We have a Chargers and we have the Explorers. I personally, summertime I love the Charger. Wintertime I want the Explorer. I have a Charger. Like my personal car is a Charger, and my Charger suck in the winter. Like it sucks.
Absolutely does.
So I don't want to be
driving. That shit sucks in the rain.
Yeah, in the rain too, don't it? Like I thought it was just me or saying it was my car. No, my car sucks in the rain. If not just rain, but if it's raining like really pouring, I mean I'm sliding. So I thought it was just my car or something, or my alignment or something was messed up. I'm happy you said that because now that's like, yeah, I know now. But yeah, my car sucks in the winter and in the rain. So I do like the Explorer if I'm in the wintertime. I mean in the wintertime. Yeah.
Well, I thank you for coming, man.
Oh yeah, no problem.
Get off here so you can get some rest. I got something to do at 7:30. But thank y'all for coming on. Thank you for joining, man. We can do this again.
No problem. We're gonna definitely have to get back on there.
Yeah.
It's funny because I had a lot of people like that was commenting under my videos talking about, oh, you need to get on with Officer D. I'm gonna go tell him about you. And like literally on my last video, somebody had just said that today. And I'm like, dude, I'm going live with him tonight. He was like, wait, for real? I was like, yes, I'm literally going live with him tonight. He was like, what? How did I not know? I said, I don't know, because I put it on the description because I didn't talk about it when I already had my last video made. So I put it in the description, but I guess a lot of people don't really read descriptions.
No, they don't.
Yeah. So
we don't work together. I saw his Instagram and actually reached out to him. No, not your Instagram, your YouTube channel. Was it your YouTube channel? I guess so.
I think you said one of your subscribers told you about me.
That's right.
And
That's
then
what. And
that's when
Snapchat.
you messaged me on Instagram.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
and then we were supposed to already go live, but some stuff happened with my schedule, so I had to cancel. And then I was close. I was like, man, I was super tired now, so I'm like, I gotta work midnight, but I'm like, no, I'm gonna stick through with this one. I'm gonna go live with my dude today, and it's only up from here.
Oh yeah.
So
somebody messaged me on Snapchat, so I was like, coolio. And then I checked out your videos. That's what it was. But yeah, man, definitely got to do it again. We'll stay in contact.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
Everybody else, see y'all next time.
Y'all be safe out there. Watch your backs. Peace.
Yes, sir. So adios.